She's the boss.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to call the Code Board June 12, 2020 meeting to order. Code officers, please, roll call, please.
Mr. Mahegan? Mr. Gonzalez? Ms. Marsh? Here. Ms. Roby?
Here.
Mr. Harrington?
Here.
And Madam Chair, Colonel Hines?
Here.
And Ms. Kendi?
He's back.
Gonzalez just came in.
Good morning.
You can't be like me. You saw me, you tripped. I know. I said it. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Let the minutes show that Mr. Gonzalez
Saw me, you tripped.
finally showed up.
Let the minutes show that you got a big mouth.
Could I get a motion for Mrs. Luigi and,
I'll make the motion for Mr. Mahegan and Ms. Koenig be excused.
Mahegan? That's the new member.
Megan, not here today.
No, he's not here.
We have a quorum. We have a quorum. Yeah, let's have a motion to excuse him. Ms. McKeegan,
We did.
you did?
Then she made it.
You made the motion. Who seconded it?
I seconded.
Good, great, thank you. Yeah, what about Ouija?
Okay,
I'll make the motion to excuse.
Ed Ouija,
Ms.
good.
Koenig.
yeah.
Thank you, Mr. James. We don't want to leave her out.
We have started. No.
She let you know too.
Okay. Code officers, please come forward to be sworn in.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Here's our procedures. We will be calling cases by numbers and for the most part in order as they are listed on the agenda. If there are any attorneys or policemen present, we will hear those cases first. When your case is called, please come forward and be sworn in. State your name and address for the record. If you are not the owner of the property, please state your relationship to the owner. Our proceedings are recorded, so please speak into the microphone. The board hears from the code officers first, and then you will be given the opportunity to respond. Please direct all responses to the board. Witnesses may also testify following the same procedure. Are there any attorneys or policemen present? Okay.
Mrs. Tyne,
Yes.
we have to approve the minutes and
We can take a vote on that. Let's
closure.
Okay. Can I get
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
this?
Second.
Okay.
all in favor. All in favor.
All in agreement?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Okay. And
Disclosure.
disclosure, are there any disclosures here?
Done.
None.
And then we have announcements.
And our announcements, please.
Page 2. Lien Review 1 will be via Zoom. Page,
2, that's the lien one.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Page 4. Case number 7, CEB 05-2474, 821 Pine Street is in compliance, 6/11/24. Page 5, case 13, CEB 04-2468 at 543 Division Street via Zoom. Page 6, case number 14, CEB 04-2459, 618 Roma Street is in compliance, 6/11/24. Page number 9. Case 27, CEB 06-2492, 642 El Dorado Street via Zoom. Those are my announcements.
First case is
Review 1.
lien review. Our first case is the lien review.
Are they ready on Zoom?
Did she say she don't have a Zoom?
If you don't mind, we could hold up on this and see if they appear by Zoom later, if that's all right with the board.
Problem with the board? Board's okay with it.
Is that all right with the board?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Jones, we'll do that. Case number 1, CEB 05-2471, George and Gary Robinson. Mr. Wiggins.
Excuse me, Madam Chair. It's George, Gary, and Heidi Robinson.
Got my name wrong, it's Gary George Robinson.
Gary,
George Robinson.
oh, okay,
Okay, that's noted.
George, Gary, and Heidi Robinson.
Yeah, it's Gary George Robinson.
It's Gary
and
George.
Heidi-
Just call Mr. Robinson.
Mr. Robinson is fine,
Gary
yeah.
George, okay,
Or call me Gary, it's what I usually go by.
thank you,
Got it.
My dad's name is George.
okay. Mr. Wiggins,
First of all, good morning.
Good morning.
Inspector Curtis Wiggins, Code Compliance, credentials on file. Respondent was first notified of violation December the 5th, 2023. Since last hearing, there was no progress made. I've had contact with the owner, and the staff recommends a fine of $100 a day to a cap of $15,000.
I basically, I bought this property and was under the impression that it was gonna be pretty easy to get fixed up and stuff, and as I got into it, I found a lot of problems with it. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
You gotta swear him in.
I need you to be sworn in.
oh,
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
So, yeah, this is the property as it was when I bought it, and it was pretty rough. Inspector Wiggins stopped by earlier on, and basically we discussed what we needed to do on the front of the building. But the inside's where I was actually trying to get the things cleared out so I could actually get to the point of being able to move into it and do some things there. I am presently employed. I live in Ohio. I actually have a big job that I'm doing down in Miami, starting probably next month, I guess. So I knew that was coming up, and I figured I'd be able to work on this property during during my weekends and stuff like that as well. I'm wanting to do the work mostly on my own. I've rehabbed houses before and stuff in the past. But as I got into this house, I started finding really issues with electrical issues, with just looked like insect damage and stuff like that. So I basically had all of the interior plaster and lath taken off of the studs, and that's when Inspector Wiggins had come by. Again, he was looking at the front of the house, the damage that was in the front. The house had been damaged during Ian, I guess, wherever that storm was, and the roof was out. It had actually collapsed the whole ceiling inside in the main room right there. And so basically there's a lot of exposed wood anyway when I first bought the house. And I started seeing what looked like insect damage and some very strange wiring practices that would never pass any kind of muster. I mean,
Okay, Mr. George, has any of the work been done?
I've done some work, but my issue is on this issue here is about getting the permit. And I tried using this website you've got here. I just was having a lot of trouble with it. Actually ended up talking with the inspector earlier this week, and then he referred me to the guys that actually do the permitting stuff. They told me that I didn't have to provide prints like I was being asked to provide. More like they just said, give us good diagrams of what you've got and what you're going to do, and we can go from there. So I've been working on that to prepare that. I should have those in this week, but that's the piece I'm trying to understand. I mean, I am basically, I'm not trying to get out of anything. I basically want to make this a good property. I want to be a good citizen for the city of Daytona. I lived down here before in Orlando, and I mean, that's the kind of place we want to go to when we retire, and I'm getting close to that age at 72. So
When you bought this property, did you have it inspected or did
it was one of those as-is things. And my wife found this property. I wasn't looking for a place to come down here, but I had participated in a video walkthrough of the thing, and it didn't seem like there was anything major. But as I got into it, there was some major issues here.
we have a constant problem of people getting bargains down here, and with the expectation, I guess, that they're going to fix it up and live in it or sell it. And then things happen.
Yeah.
Like you'll need a rowboat down there in Miami if you were doing your job today, because it's underwater.
Yeah,
But,
I understand.
so
Yeah.
Things happen, we understand,
Yeah.
but 6 months
Yeah.
is a long time to take to not get the permits.
Well, I've been trying to go through. I mean, I've been trying to find a good general contractor I can work with, and the ones I had one guy set up, and he was getting his general contractor thing, and then he ended up leaving town, so that was not good. I tried to work with his crew; they're not being reliable. I've interviewed a couple other people this week, and I have not settled on anybody particularly, but I'm definitely. I mean, this is on my list of things to do, and now that I understand how I can get it done,
But
I will. But I just
How soon do you think you'll have some permits?
I'll have this permit probably within a month, because I mean, in a few weeks I'm sure, because I've got the drawings almost done right now, so it's going to be a back and forth between code and me. But I'm sure it can be pretty quickly.
So if we gave you another 30 days and you came here with no permits, would you expect us to fine you at that time?
Probably, yeah. I would guess that would be adequate, sir.
Mr. Harrington, if we let us hear from Mr.
Well,
Wiggins,
again,
what is the city recommendation?
We recommend a fine of $100 a day to a cap of $15,000.
I have a question.
Sir,
So you did start the repairs
and they had basically.
permit and without applying for the permit?
Yeah, I didn't realize taking the drywall, I mean, the plaster off the walls was a problem. That's
No,
something that
he's
was,
asking excuse me, he's asking, did you start the work without a permit? That's what.
I did, yeah, well, I thought I was getting into just basically doing some minor fix-up stuff and not,
No, I mean, regardless, you knew you had to have a permit, is that correct?
I didn't think I had to have a permit to do what I was
You
doing.
didn't think you had to have one?
As a homeowner, typically you're allowed to do, and this is, and maybe it's different in Ohio than down here, but as a homeowner, you're allowed to do almost anything you want to on your house, as long as you do it correctly.
And were you properly notified by the city?
Inspector Wiggins has been outstanding. I have
That's
no.
not my question. My question
mean-
is, were you properly notified?
Well, if you're saying from what Inspector Wiggins did with me, yes. From the city, what do you mean by that?
I'll ask the inspector. Was he duly notified?
Correct, he was.
Okay.
Okay. So, could I get a motion from the board?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the city's recommendation of fining $100 a day to start today, to cap 15,000. That's my motion.
Is there a second? I second it. I second it.
Who's the older member, Mr.
Can we get a roll?
Harrington? You give him Harrington the.
Oh, did-
Yeah, none of them,
Okay.
are agreeing to it.
Second so we still need a roll call.
Right.
Mr. Harrington?
No,
Ms. Marsh?
No.
Ms. Roby?
No.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, I made the motion.
Yes.
Bills. Me too. You need another motion. The motion
We need
failed.
another motion.
I'll make a motion that we give the respondent, 30 days to at least come forward with an approved permit.
With the, if he
would-
doesn't, with the fine.
Instead of, I mean, if he can get the permit done, then he can start to work.
All right.
And then, but I didn't think you needed a permit to take plastic down either, so that's. So I make a motion that we allow the respondent in case number CEB 052471, at
7-3.
Poinsettia, 30 days or from the next cutoff, which would be 7/3.
No, let's say 30 days. Let's say next cutoff.
7/3 is the cutoff. With the subsequent, if he doesn't fine.
With possible consideration of up to $1,000 per day until the fine.
Okay. You've heard the motion.
Can I just clarify something before you
Sure.
proceed with the motion? You're asking for him to obtain permits, but that would not be compliance, right? Compliance would be
Right.
having the
Right.
permits and then ultimately getting those.
That was, he can give him more time if he wants.
So,
Let's have a permit.
so if you're asking for compliance for next cutoff, then with an anticipation that he probably won't be in compliance, but he would need to at least have permits.
Yes.
Okay, is that clarified, Mr. Okay,
Second.
there was a second. Roll call.
Mr. Harrington?
yes,
Ms. Marsh?
Yes.
Ms. Roby?
Yes.
Ms. Himes?
No.
Mr. Gonzalez?
No.
Passes 3-2.
Okay, it passes 3-2. Mr. George, you have until July 3rd to come into compliance.
And what does that mean exactly?
That means get with Mr. Wiggins and he'll explain
All right.
things.
And if I could maybe just for a little bit of clarification, I think with the board, if I'm understanding the board right, they're looking for some significant progress, and that significant progress will be the completion of you obtaining the permit. So if the permit's obtained, they'll make a decision on what they want to do at the next meeting. If you don't have any permits, I think y'all have already said it's more than likely they will proceed with a fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I have been investing in the property. I mean, even today, we're
Just
getting,
explaining the outcome.
all right.
Get with
Yes, sir.
case number 2 CEB 042470. Clarice Espau.
Mark Jones, Field Supervisor with the City of Daytona Beach with code compliance. My credentials are on file. The city would like to withdraw this case due to some processing issues, and we'll bring it back to you at a later date if necessary.
Okay.
It's not a new case.
Okay.
You just want-
Case
Okay.
number 2.
Let me get some clarification. When we say withdraw, we actually asking them to vacate, because they actually have an order finding
Yes.
non-compliance. So we're erasing everything at this point.
want to
Yes,
dismiss.
sir.
Okay.
Yeah, we're vacating the order of non-compliance and withdrawing it.
And
Thank you.
so y'all would need a
The
motion.
case be dismissed.
Okay. Can I get a motion to vote to vacate this case?
You're gonna vacate the previous motion and then dismiss the case, will be what's your motion? I mean, the previous order, which was the order of non-compliance, and dismiss the case.
I'll make that motion. I make a motion that we accept the city's, recommendation to vacate, the previous order. And what was the other part?
And dismiss the case.
And dismiss it, until they bring it back up before us.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Case number 3, CEB 012419. Nicholas McErlin and Miguel Pagan. Mr. Stenser is standing in for Mr. Jones? No, sorry.
It's Mr. Stinson's case.
This is Nicole, this is your case?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay. We're here from the code inspector.
Good morning, John Stinson, Code Inspector with the City. Qualifications are on file. We're here for a progress report for 402 Auditorium. Since the last hearing, I have not had any updates from the property owner. The property is being maintained, and basically that's as far as I have.
This
as
was
far as
the
progress.
insurance.
That's correct. The last hearing, I believe it was Zoom, but they couldn't change the status of the property until the insurance people did whatever they were gonna do.
And they haven't stayed in touch with you?
No, ma'am.
So, Mr. Simpson, what is your recommendation from the city?
I would like to give this case until the next cutoff to come into compliance.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to allow the respondent for case number CEB 012419 at 402 Auditorium Boulevard until 7/3 to come into compliance or another status update or be returned to the board at subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved.
Okay, just to clarify, I'm looking at the prior order, and the prior order was actually for a fine to be, I mean, it was for,
To have a.
well, we were here for imposition of a fine, which is okay. So must bring the property into compliance and have it inspected and approved by the June 5th, which would have been a cutoff. So we're just amending,
Bring it to the next update.
yeah, to a new cutoff date.
Everything else
So
stays the
that's-
same.
Yeah, everything else is the same, so it's just an amendment. But,
Was there?
I mean, unless y'all want to ask for a progress report, it wasn't officially up for progress, it was up for imposition of,
They want the opportunity to fine if they want to.
yes. So you would still have that opportunity if you just amend to the next cutoff.
Okay.
So we're not due for a report, we're due for some action.
Yes, you are due for some action, and you still would be due for some action.
Okay.
Was there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, case number 4, CEB 052482, John Nichols. At 413 and a half North Grandview Avenue. Mr. Nichols not here. Mr. Stinson.
Yes, in this case, the respondent was first notified on January 9th, 2024. He was cited for unmaintained landscaping, outside storage of trash and debris. My last visit to the property was on the 3rd of June. The property remains in non-compliance for all cited violations. The city is asking for the imposition of a fine of $100 per day to be capped at $10,000.
Okay.
No improvement at all?
Very little, very little. I mean, it kind of just moves around the property.
Any contact with you?
I have had contact. He's even actually visited the office. He said he's working on it.
I remember
That's it.
he had totally admitted that that was the condition,
Yes,
and if he
correct.
hasn't corrected it, I guess we need to fine him.
Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to impose a fine of
$100 per day.
$100 per day for case number 4, CEB 052482. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Are you moving the city's recommendation?
It has been moved and
Where's she moving? She moving the city's recommendation? You moving the city's recommendation?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
the city's
on the
recommendation.
city, yeah.
She said I moved, not good enough.
It has been moved and second to impose a fine of $100 per day. All in favor?
Aye.
Case number 5, CEB 042463, Linda Carol Jones, Carnell, and Carnell Charles Jones, 1036 Cedar Highland Boulevard. Mr. Butler.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Inspector Butler, credentials on file with the City of Daytona Beach. As it pertains to 1036 Cedar Highland, since last month, court proceedings, I've had no contact with the property owner and no progress. Staff requests a fine of $100 a day to a maximum of $10,000.
Is there a motion?
I'll make the, I got a question. Is this is rental property or?
Actually, the owner lived there. This was a police issue.
Okay,
They raided the home, and he had to move out because it's unsafe conditions.
okay. I'll make the motion to take the city's recommendation on case number CEB 042463 at 1036 Highland Avenue, Cedar Highlands Boulevard.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved to properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, I missed who seconded?
I did.
Mr. Gonzalez,
And then the fine amount was how much, please?
$100 per day.
The maximum of 10,000.
Thank you.
Okay. Case number 6, CEB 042464, Gerald Oral Santos and Maribel Butis Laura. At the address is 1409 3rd Street. Work without a permit. Mr. Butler,
Yes, ma'am. As it pertains to...
We have a respondent.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you do have a response.
my name is Juan Bartolome, I'm the subcontractor for Mr. Jairo Morales.
Would you raise your hand
Wait,
to be
wait.
sworn in,
Oh.
please?
Can you tell me your name again?
Yeah, Juan Bartolome,
Roberto?
Juan Bartolome,
Oh, Juan.
yeah,
Gotcha.
Okay.
sorry.
Roberto's the last name. Okay. Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I will.
Thank you.
Okay. We will hear from the city, Mr. Butler.
Well, if we can find out what Mr.
Juan,
Juan's, relationship is to the
Subcontractor. Subcontractor.
Okay. Were you here before?
No.
Okay.
What did he say? Contract?
Subcontractor.
Okay.
And you weren't authorized to speak on behalf of the owner?
Yeah. So I got yesterday with the code enforcement.
Okay, so you're a subcontractor of record?
I met him yesterday.
Okay, good. I'm fine.
Okay. Mr. Butler.
Okay, as pertains to 1409 3rd Street, let me bring the board up to speed with this case. Back in November, I opened a case. I was riding my zone, and then I noticed that, as you can see, a crew there putting in a driveway. And at that time was supposed to have been a licensed contractor, as you can see that. But however, they did not have a permit. So I presented them with a stop work order at that time. So that's back in November. Today, as it stands today, there are permits, and this is a licensed contractor. But I just want to say that if you're a licensed contractor, you know not to conduct work without a permit. So that did take place. But as of today, they have a permit in place. However, it's not finalized because they have some issues with the city. As you can see to the right, there's a little portion of the driveway that's missing there, okay? That was poured up to the street. You cannot do that. So they had them to remove the portion of that and take care of the things that needed to be done in order for them to resurface it. So at this point, my recommendation is $100 a day to a maximum $10,000.
Okay, Mr. Juan.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, and it's.
Come on, put the mic down close to you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, and explain that happened here. I have here there's a plan for the job, okay, and the city, the Daytona, I have happens and issues in the right side because the electrical companies put the back is 2 by 3 feet. I can't extend the driveway anymore, more for that. Basically because the setbacks minimum is 4 foot. I don't know if you see. Okay, and the pole line is on the other side. I can extend it what the city say and this here, right? So the city say 24 foot longer. I don't have enough room for that. So basically I have 6 inches and under the concrete, right? So my mistake, and so my guys just pull over the concrete a little inside for the easement for the city. So I tell to my guys cut it off and cover it with the asphalt. But right now I need one of the inspector to go over there and check it out, let me know what I want for the job because I don't understand. Because supposed to do.
Let me ask Mr. Butler again. So the issue here is the work without a permit.
That's correct.
And what you're saying is that they were notarized. I mean, they were notified.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you did.
Yes, ma'am.
And you say you did put a stop and desist.
Stop work order. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But they continue the work, as you can see.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to the board now. Are there any questions or
Are
recommendations?
you the contractor that?
I'm the subcontractor for Dagon Hunt.
Are you the contractor that continued the work after?
Yes, yes, sir.
Well, why did you do that?
Because I'm working in the area of Flagler Beach, there's different rules in here. So when I keep it the job until I talk to my assistant, put the permits, he told me everything is okay, you can go. So after that, when I put my group, Political Concrete, the inspector is to stop the job, right? So I call my assistant and call my general contractor and check it out what's going on with the job. And so I'm hurry for put the permit and go continue the job. After that, the inspectors go in the job and say I need to remove I need to remove 50 foot the concrete.
Okay.
Okay, and put the swell.
What date were you notified that you had exceeded?
I'm thinking it's almost.
To stop.
Yeah, Madam Chair, if I may be heard,
Yeah.
I'm not aware of anywhere in the state where if you receive a stop work order, it's any different that you can proceed without having that authorization to proceed. He had a stop work order. I don't know why they would have proceeded. I don't know anything else, but I don't know of any basis for saying that in other jurisdictions, he would have been able to
Yeah.
proceed. I don't think that would be the case.
So, to the board, do I have a motion to accept the city's recommendation?
I make a motion that we accept the city's recommendation on CEB 0464 on 1409 3rd Street.
Okay.
And I believe that was $100 a day?
Yes, ma'am.
There a second?
I'll second. I do have a question before we vote, though. Have you fixed that area?
No, I'm waiting for the city to explain me that
What they
thing.
want you to do?
Yeah, because in this say for the city, so me, it's not, basically, I'm sorry, I know, I need to follow the rules, but it's no sense for me. I'm working in Concord for 10 years. In this case, in that house, it's impossible to put the swell because I don't have enough room. Basically, it's the no Lego, sorry, stain walls in the whole area. Put the swell, everything is go floor.
Okay, Mr. Juan.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
main thing here is to work without a permit of it, and saying to the board to caution, this is what we are here for. So she made the motion, it was accepted. We're not talking about this, the distance or the depth or whatever.
Well, I was
There
just trying to
was-
see if it was refixed or if it still looks this way.
Yeah,
To vote.
but,
I'd like some
All in-
discussion. Can we have any discussion?
yes, we can.
Okay. So the issue is the permit, which was the same issue we just had with somebody else.
Yeah,
So with that somebody else, we gave them time
But they didn't
to
get a stop
correct.
order.
Well, may I finish my discussion, please? So, if the issue is permit, the case is the same, although there are different underlying issues. I think that all things should be equal.
okay.
The case is
Madam
not-
Chair, may I speak?
May I speak, Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
agree with you in a sense, but we are dealing with a stop
Okay.
work order here that
Okay.
was placed, and the work continued to be done,
Okay.
okay?
And may I finish?
Yeah, trying to get a vote on it.
Okay, I just want to say, the fact that circumstances leading to the case are different makes each case different, so they're not all the same.
I didn't say the same, I
Nothing
said
is ever
similar.
all the same.
Okay, there was a motion by Mrs. Marsh, second by Mrs. Roby, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No.
4-1.
4-1, motion carried. Okay, Mr. Warren, get with Mr. Butler for further instructions on it.
All right, thank you so much.
Case number 7, CEB 052474, Christine Ziegler.
Madam Chair,
That was announced in compliance, Madam Chair. That's been announced in compliance.
Yes, that's, I have to call it, right, is in compliance, 821 Pinewood, okay? Case number 8, CEB 052488, Michelle Hall, 1305 3rd Street, outdoor storage and unmaintained landscape. Mr. Butler.
As pertains to 1305 3rd Street, since last month court proceedings, I've had no contact with the property owner and no progress. Staff requests $100 a day to a maximum of $10,000.
Okay. Do I have a motion for the city's recommendation?
I'll make the motion for the case CEB 052488 at 1305 3rd Street to come into compliance by 7/3 or be returned to the board for a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved, and we'll take the city's recommendation on the fine of $100 a day.
Okay, that kind of was a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the first portion was more for compliance and non-compliance, which has already been found. The last portion, which the only
Oh, that's
request would
right.
be whether or not
We
a
were
fine be.
imposing fine. Okay, to impose a fine of $100 per day per city's recommendation.
Second.
Okay. Second by Mrs. Marsh. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Case number 9, CEB.
Can I ask a question and get some clarification? So this case was here to impose a fine, and so
Yes.
we're changing it.
Yes,
Okay.
No, we imposed the fine.
we did.
I read it wrong from the paper.
Oh, okay, yeah. You mixed it up a little, but we straight.
It was corrected,
It was correct.
from the city's perspective.
Case number 9, CEB 012409, Back Development LLC at 712 Park Drive and 714. No permit for fence and no rental license. Mrs. Kirk.
Good morning, Sarah Kirk, Inspector with the city. My credentials are on file. Since the last hearing, there has been progress. Of course, the fence permit has been finalized. The rental license is still in the application status, so they're just waiting on a inspection for the rental. So I anticipate it to be completed by the next cutoff, so staff would like to amend to the next cutoff for compliance.
Do I have a motion to amend to the next cutoff?
I make a motion to amend to the next cutoff, CEB 012409, 712 Park Drive and 714. Amend to the next cutoff, which is 7/3/24.
There, second?
Second.
Oh, Mr. Harrington, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Okay. Case number 10, CEB 042455, Oregon LLC at 935 South Martin Luther King Boulevard. Numerous violations. Mrs. Kirk.
Okay, I'm actually corresponding with them right now. They said they are on I-4 and expected arrival is at 10:08, and they're asking if they can push it towards the back.
Okay.
This one and as well as 543 Division.
Which
That's
case number? Oh, number 13.
number 13, BMS Holding. If we can put those towards the end.
So it's not going to be by Zoom, they're actually coming.
Yeah, that's what the email just stated, that
Okay.
they're stuck on I-4. They're on I-4.
They're,
Do I have a motion
They're on
to
the way.
delay
That's correct.
Need a
Motion to
delay.
case number 10 and also case number 13?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Ms. Kirk, it's been moved. We will get it at the end. Get it.
Okay. Thank you.
Case number 11, CEB 022435, Kelvin Lee and Anthony D. Williams Sr. He was here. Oh,
Good morning.
Good morning.
good morning. Mr. Lee, would you raise your hand to be sworn in, please?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll hear from Ms. Kirk first.
Okay. Since the last hearing, there has been some progress. This week, they have been working on the property. They did have a delay with the permit department, so it's going to be another 4 weeks. So I know that the case has been going on for a while, but I feel that he is working to get it into compliance. So with that, I'd like to ask to amend with the 4-week delay from the permitting department. I'd like to ask to amend 60 days, so that would be the August cutoff for compliance.
7:31 is the August cutoff. 7:31, 88.
Would be 8, August would be
7:31 cutoff, 88.
7:31.
Yep, and he does have an engineer. That was the part of the delay, was he needed to get an engineer for something, so he has one under contract.
Okay. Do I have a motion to extend Mr. Lee for 60 days.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to, case number CEB 022435 to amend to the August cutoff for compliance or be returned to the board as subsequent meeting consideration of a fine of $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved.
Second.
The August cutoff date, because it's July.
Cutoff date is
7/31.
Right.
Ms. Roby made the motion, Mr. Gonzalez second. All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Lee, you have sick with Ms. Kirk, and she'll let you know.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, case number 12, CB 042454, Christopher William Miller and Brittany M. Lee. Ms. Kirk.
Okay. Since the last hearing, hasn't been any progress and there's no contact. Staff is recommending a fine of $100 a day to a max of $10,000.
Okay. Is there a motion to impose the $100 a day per day fine?
Yeah, I would like to make a motion that in the case of 12-CEB 04-24-54, the address is 227 South Lavelle Avenue, that we accept the city's recommendation of imposing a fine of $100 a day until they come into compliance.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
And just to a maximum of $10,000.
To a maximum of $10,000.
Okay,
On favor? Motions.
all in favor?
Aye.
Case number 14, CEB 042456, Jimmy and Lola Moore, 618 Roma Street is in compliance. Case number 15, CEB 042461, Leon and Fina McMyers at 525 Cannon Street.
That property is in compliance as of 6/3/2024.
This case is in compliance as of 6/3/24. We'd like to excuse Mr. Gonzalez. It's in compliance.
We still have a quorum.
Yeah. Okay, case number 16, 15 is in compliance. Okay. Case number 16, CEB 052475, Johnny A. and Tony D. Stewart, 954 Bryant Street.
The respondent was first notified of all violations on October 30th, 2023. I've had no contact with the respondent. The property is occupied, and there's been no progress. There has not been an application for rental applied for as of yesterday, June 12th, 2024. Staff is asking for a fine of $100 a day with a cap of 15.
The only thing we show is no rental license. Is there other violations there?
No, that is the only violation they have at this time.
So he can continue to rent, because we have no authority to, other than this fine.
No, we have no other authority. Code compliance doesn't except to issue a fine should the board decide.
And then we can lien his property if he doesn't pay that.
Correct.
Okay, can I get a motion to impose the fine?
I'll make the motion to take the city's recommendation on case CEB 0524-75 for $100 a day up to $15,000
Yes.
for the word I'm looking for.
Okay, no, right. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Case number 17, CEB 052476, Henry Floyd Daughtry
I'm sorry.
at 430 North Caroline Street.
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, the last case, who seconded?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Marsh, I'm sorry, I thought. Hello, Mr. Good morning. Mr. Daughtry? Okay. Who all will be testifying? Will you be testifying? Okay, would you, all three of you, would you raise your right hand?
What's your names, please?
Give,
Henry Daughtry, Deidre Jones. Cheryl Daughtry.
Tammy Daughtry?
Cheryl.
Oh, Cheryl, I'm sorry. Is that with an S or a C?
C.
Cheryl, and the other person's name was?
Deidre Jones.
Deidre. Then Mr. Daughtry. Will you got everyone raise their right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
okay,
Mr. Daughtry?
we will hear
Yes,
from the,
yes.
for the inspector
Yes.
first.
Thank you.
Number 17.
Yeah.
Mr. Jones?
Yes, the respondent was first notified of all violations on October 31st, 2023. We've had no contact from the property owner. They have made some progress. They cut down the growth in the front, but the remaining violations still remain. This property has been posted for condemnation also. Staff is requesting a fine of $100 a day with a cap of $10,000.
So, Mr. Daughtry, who speaks?
I know my sister, she's at work. She was here last month, and I know more about it, but I'm low vision. So I had my sister to come read. Well, my father's he was in the roofing program, and we have that, and they found out that the roof was too bad. So he's in the program, and we had last time they came where the city came by, and they had stopped him for working when he first started working on the house. And we just have a lot of stuff we've been dealing with. No longer. The gentleman that's working on it, I think her name is Sharonda. Another young lady's.
I was cleaning up around there, and they stopped me. They
So-
stopped me
Got the
from
letter.
cleaning up. Said,
So we got the
we got
program.
a crew coming in, and I'll tear it down in the next couple of days.
Okay.
And
So
but I got all the front.
we got all the
I
paperwork.
got all the back cut down. I got a little bit more to pull out, but everything been chopped down.
The yard.
But I got a whole lot of trash and stuff back there.
Okay,
Over
Mr.
50
Daughtry.
yards of trash and stuff.
Mr. Daughtry, I think one of the main problems is.
It's the house.
No, contacting Mr. Jones. You have not been in contact with him. He's the inspector. Have you ever talked to Mr. Jones?
No, we have never talked to Mr. Jones. We never got we never know we had to talk to him.
Okay, well, as he said, there was a notification given on October the 31st. It was posted to you, did?
Yes,
Post the
it was
notice.
posted.
Okay. There
But
was-
we're in the program, ma'am. That's why we,
Okay, but what I'm saying.
yes, ma'am.
There was a notice posted.
Uh-huh.
And you should have gotten in touch with Mr. Jones. I see now you did get the notice. That was the reason you went to the city. Am I right?
No, he's been in the program.
Okay, not the program. When he left, did you receive anything from Mr. Jones, a posted thing?
The letter we got is the 26th, July the 6th, 23. And it said the structure, house will not
Maybe it's
support
just
new
one.
roof. And this is the letter we got where they told him to stop. And this was dated 10/31/23.
Okay.
You may want to see the letter that they're saying something about telling them to stop. If, Madam Chair, if I can be heard, I believe Mr. Jones can speak to his knowledge of whether they're in a program or not.
Yeah.
But if they do have some letter telling them to stop it,
Yeah,
they would
yeah,
be
take-
interested in seeing that. Yeah, if you, could- I'll pass it through, but if I could.
Here, Moni, take this too. Yes. I think it's the blue one with the blue tape on it.
So this is basically telling them, the application for assistance was reviewed and denied. So that's what you're saying? Yeah. All right, well, let me look at a couple of them, and I'll go ahead and tell you what I have here, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is your one.
Can I say something?
Okay. I'm not, what I don't have among these papers is anything that tells me that they were told to stop doing cleanup. But what I do have is a letter that is from the City of Daytona Beach Redevelopment and Neighborhood Services dated January 6, 2023. And that letter, I mean, not January, July 6, 2023. And that letter's to homeowner Henry Daughtry. And it's regarding program assistance for the roof program. And it says your application for roof repair assistance was reviewed and denied for the following reasons. And it's checked and highlighted, structure compromised, house will not support new roof. And it's signed by LaShondra Robinson, housing manager. Other than that, the other documents are the affidavit of service, of noncompliance, and the order of noncompliance, as well as their original notice of violation.
They're not approved.
So the only document other than the standard documents for the file would be this letter that they have that says they were not approved for the program.
Well,
And that was from July of 2023.
Mr. Daughtry, what that letter.
Oh, we do need a copy of this, so we're gonna make a copy, we'll give that back to you.
What that letter is saying is that you were denied, so you're not in the program.
No, we talked to Bill and Sharonda, my sister's not here, and they said since the roof was not, it needed more, the roof was
But the letter is saying that they denied you because.
For the roof.
Wait, can I finish?
Yes, ma'am.
Because the house will not support a new roof.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I right?
That's what the
Yes,
letter stated. Right now, it's been copied, but yeah, that's what it stated.
But she said. But they're telling us every day, somebody just called my sister yesterday and said that he's still in the program, I guess for the whole house to be pushed down. See, they telling us something different.
Well,
They
see,
saying he's still in the program, that
So,
he's
Ms. Daughtry,
he
that's
need a whole
the
house now, not
That's-
just the roof.
That's the reason I keep telling you to stay in touch with Mr. Jones.
Yes, yes.
And he can direct you better
Okay.
for that.
Okay, because they telling us something, like he's still in the
Like he's in the
program. They call,
But no one is living in that house, correct?
no.
Yeah, the thought of the city on this is that this, as we've learned from these programs, there could be a different program, but specifically the program that they were referencing as to the roof, that was denied. If they're insisting to heard someone, they seem very adamant about having heard from individuals in the city, we're okay with amending it to the next cutoff and doing further follow-up with the programs to ensure that there's no program that's part of what this process where we are right now.
Okay.
So I have a question too. My question is the legal question to the attorney. So there's a recommendation by the city to give them a fine. However, if the house is being considered for demo and the roof can't be built, so what is the purpose of what are we gonna get out of a fine?
Well,
What they recommend, Mr.
That was the
Gonzalez,
recommendation.
Mr. Gonzalez, the Attorney Jackson
Yes.
recommended to the next cutoff.
To get everything, okay.
You know, we'll make the,
But there was a fine.
and we could do better, right, at this point, we're recommending amending to the next cutoff,
Yeah.
and we can determine then whether a fine is appropriate, or, my understanding, someone said, I think, Mr. Jones said it, that there may be, it's well dealing right now with the Board of Building Codes.
Okay.
Okay, with a possible condemnation. So there's a lot more factors here that we probably need some
Yeah, that's
information
what
on
I'm saying.
to determine what should happen next.
Okay.
Okay. so
Thank you.
Is there a recommendation for the next cutoff?
I'll make the motion to take the city attorney's recommendation to wait for the next cutoff on 7/3, case CEB 05476, to get clarification on any assistance that's needed for the property as
Okay.
is.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Gonzalez, second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
Okay, we have
Okay.
one no. You want a roll call?
For the one.
It's clear.
4 to 1, I know. Mr. Harrington, 1. No, okay.
You?
Yes.
Ms. Daughtry,
Yes.
you have until next month to come back in, but get with Mr. Jones, and anything they tell you you have, get it in writing.
Okay. Okay.
And present it to him and bring it back to us.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Thank
just,
you. Thank you.
Madam Chair, just so I can make sure it's clear, what we did is amended the order of noncompliance, which means
Yeah.
next month we could come in and still ask for a fine. But what we're gonna try and do is get information and y'all make sure you keep in contact with Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he'll tell you what he anticipates is coming up based on what he's able to find out.
Okay.
If y'all have someone that y'all have been communicating with the city,
Yes.
make sure he knows that.
Yes.
And you can
Okay.
tell that person to contact him as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Case number 18, CEB
Yes.
052477. Daniel I. and Jennifer Patrice, 413 Pleasant Street. Mr. Jones.
The respondent was first notified of all violations on October 20th, 2023. We have been in contact with the property owner. The property is occupied, and there has been progress. Their permits have been submitted. They're waiting for their final inspection, which right now I believe is scheduled for July. So I'd like to go ahead and amend to the next cutoff.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I make the motion to amend to the next cutoff per city's recommendation on case CEB 052477.
Second.
Okay. Ms. Roby, motion, and Ms. Marsh, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Case number 19, CEB 052478. Sandora Y. Davis and Kenzel Washington at 349 Wilson Avenue. Mr. Jones.
This respondent was first notified of all violations on October 23rd, 2023. We have been in contact with the owner. The property is occupied. They have made some progress, but they have not removed or got a permit for a shed that they have. It's hard to see if they could move in. It's the building that they built where the pickup truck is, and there's a bunch of outside storage still there. We've requested that they apply for a permit with no success. The staff is recommending a fine of $100 a day with a cap of 15.
So this is rental property.
Yes. Well, yes, it is.
Okay.
Has there been any communication?
Yes, we've been in communication. They've removed a lot of the trash and debris that was up front. I'm sorry I didn't bring a photo of what it looked like, but they had a boat parked next to that white car there out front of the yard. They did do some work. We just can't seem to get them to either apply for a permit for that structure they built or have the structure removed.
Okay, I'll make a motion on CEB 052478 to accept the city's recommendation of $100 a day to 15K, or if a permit is final by 7/3/2024.
Second.
Is that, no?
I'm not sure.
Well, okay, let's start over. CEB 052478 to come into compliance or be, no, that's not what I want.
No.
Okay.
Look,
$100 a day per the beginning date of today. The respondent, at case number 052478 at 349 Wilson Avenue until compliance is achieved.
Or the fine reaches the amount of $15,000,
That wasn't on the,
maximum amount.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, second. The motion to find the respondent in non-compliance and to come into compliance
No,
by the.
no, Madam Chair, that would be for compliance.
For compliance.
So your order is the motion for, which was properly
Okay,
stated,
make the motion.
would be for, ordering the respondent to pay $100 per day fine until, property is,
Reaches
yeah,
15,000.
to a maximum of 15,000, or until the property comes into compliance.
And Mr. Gonzalez had second, all in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Case number 20, CB 052479, Cornelius Wesley at 630 Winchester Street.
That property came into compliance on May 28th, 2024.
May
Yes.
0524
28.
28 24.
24.
Okay. Case number 21, CEB 052481, Moselle W. Henley Estate, 318 North Keith Street.
Yes, the respondent was first notified of all violations on February 20th, 2024. We have been in contact with the property owner. The property is occupied, but there's been very little progress. There's a photo from May 31st of the outside storage. The staff is requesting a fine of $100 with a cap of $10,000.
And if I could just have one clarification, Madam Chair, from the inspector. You said we've been in contact with the property owner, but would be the person who's occupying the property? Or
Yes, the person that's occupying the property.
Okay, they may have represented themselves as a relative or one with interest,
Yes.
but at this point, there haven't been a probate that you're aware of?
No.
So, okay, so this is just the estate.
Okay, so you're saying that you notified the resident that was living there?
Correct. They were notified on February 20th, 2024.
And we've also, okay. And we've also sent the certified mail, and it was, of course, to Ms. Hadley. Let me see.
It was what?
Hold on. I'm sorry, just if I can have just a moment. We did not post. I don't see any information on posting. A little bit uncomfortable. We may have to continue to post only because we can't rely on service on a person who is deceased. That's only service.
If you could go back a few photos, please. I believe there's where the property was posted.
When was it posted?
It was posted on February 20th, 2024.
And that is someone sitting on the porch?
Yes.
Sorry. So what's posted?
Yeah, there's a photo of it being posted.
Yeah, I was just looking for that clarification. I didn't see that in my book here, but if it was posted, I'm satisfied, and I think Mr. Senior, I don't know, would be satisfied that
Yeah, it's on one
we
thing.
satisfied the service requirements of the statute.
Yes, you did.
I'll make the motion to impose a fine of $100 per day to $10,000 for the city's recommendation, beginning today, to reach a maximum of $10,000 at the property located at 318 North Keach Street.
Second.
A second by Ms. Marsh. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Case number 22, CEB 052487, John and Marilyn Dunbar.
The respondent was first notified of all
Sorry,
violations.
they appear to be here.
Oh, they're here? Great.
Good morning.
Morning. Will you state your name, please?
John Dunbar.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
We're here from Mr. Jones first.
The respondent was first notified of all violations on February 19th, 2024. We have been in contact with the property owner. The property is not occupied, and they have been making progress. That photo there shows what the front looked. I believe there should be a photo showing, hopefully it's in there, of it. They have now restuccoed the whole building, and they're just waiting on doing the painting. They've gone ahead and scraped off the peeling paint. Staff is asking to amend to the next cutoff.
Okay. Is there a motion for the next cutoff?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that in the case of, CEB
Did they
05.
have an opportunity to be here?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought you said you wanted
have
to
any-
say anything? No. Okay.
In the case of CEB 05-24-87, concerning John and Marilyn Dunbar with the address of, where's the address? 736 Edwards Street, that we accept the city's recommendation of moving the consideration to the next cutoff.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Harrington, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Dunbar, stay in touch with Mr. Jones.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Harrington, be excused. New cases. Case number 23, CEB 062489, Talitha A. Austin, 227 Michigan Avenue. Okay. Mariah Quinn?
Yes.
Ms. Quinn?
Welcome.
Good morning. Mariah Quinn, Inspector with the City of Daytona. Credentials are on file. This case,
Wait.
yes, go ahead.
I thought they are not here.
No.
Okay.
I've not seen them.
All right, go on.
This case was a field-generated case and was opened on January 10th of 2024. The respondent was first notified on January 16th, 2024 for no fence permit, outside storage, overgrown landscaping, maintenance of fencing, exterior property areas, parking of inoperable vehicles on the yard, damaged and deteriorating areas on the exterior walls. The compliance date was February 17th, 2024. I've had minimal contact with the tenant, Brad McClenny. The property remains in non-compliance, and staff recommends non-compliance with compliance at the next cutoff.
Okay.
So there's a tenant in there.
Yes, according to him, it's his mother-in-law's property, so it's he and his wife live there, and it's
Those family.
family. Mm-hmm.
The chair will entertain a motion for the next cutoff.
I'll make the motion for case number 062489 at 227 Michigan Avenue until 7/3 to come into compliance or be returned to the board at a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved.
Can you find him in non-compliance now?
We need to.
Oh, non-compliant, yeah. Compliant.
Was there a second?
Second.
Okay, Ms. Marsh, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Case number 24 CEB 062490 Twin Homes LLC, 1401 3rd Street. Mr. Butler.
There's people coming up here.
Okay.
We have your name, you sworn, you're sworn in.
Name,
Name and sworn in.
sworn.
Melissa Cox.
Wait. He's gonna.
Your name is Phil.
And you are, sir?
I'm not testifying, but might as well just to be safe.
I'm sorry, and your
You
name?
need your name.
Oh, Michael Kelton.
Michael Kelton?
And Mr. Kelton, you say you're an attorney?
I'm the attorney for the.
Okay, so you don't have to be sworn, but she would need to be sworn, Mr. Kelton.
Mr. Kelton, can you spell your last name for me?
Kelton.
And Ms. Fox, will you raise your hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Madam, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Melissa Cox.
Okay, you can pull that mic down.
I know I'm short, sorry.
And Mr. Kelton, if you do speak, those mics in front aren't the ones. You'll have to go to the podium. And Ms. Cox, you said?
Yes.
What's your affiliation with Twin Homes LLC?
I'm the sole owner,
Okay. All right, we're good.
manager.
Okay. Mr. Butler.
Okay, as it pertains to 1401 3rd Street, this is a citizen complaint case. I conducted a site inspection on April the 16th, 2024, where it was determined the property had the following violations: work without a permit, interior renovation, dilapidated doors and bathroom, sink stopped up, kitchen sink leaks, and no rental license. A first notice was received on March 25th, 2024. On April 25th, 2024, the violation was to be in compliance. On June 11th, 2024, I conducted a reinspection. The result of my reinspection was non-compliance. I've had contact with the property owner. Staff requests non-compliance. Compliance next cutoff.
Was the
Ms.
permit,
Cox?
was a permit granted, because it's not on our list?
Madam Chair, if I may speak, it was sent out in the notice of violation as a work without work permit,
Okay.
but it just got typo from the agenda.
Oh, okay.
17's back.
Ms. Cox.
The tenant who made the complaint, to the code department was somebody who I was in the process of going through an eviction with. That person must have been the one to sign for whatever was mailed to the house. On my rental license application, all of my addresses were listed to actually reach me. I was not aware of any code violations or anything going on until we were in court on April 10th for that eviction. And my attorney, Mr. Kelton, is the one who made me aware of the fact that there was a code situation going on. I immediately, following leaving court, contacted Mr. Butler to introduce myself, apologize for just now getting back to him that I had not received any of this information. What can we do to make everything right? He and his boss came out the following Tuesday, which was the day after the set out for the eviction. The kitchen sink was fixed in front of them with my maintenance guy there, Ed. The bathroom sink was no longer clogged. It was the tenant that day who had shoved toilet paper down it when she had the code come out. There had never been a bathroom sink clogged before or after that. The bathroom door, I didn't know what dilapidated meant. When we spoke, Mr. Butler had said it was that the door wasn't shutting properly, but when we inspected the bathroom door was shutting just fine. If he's talking about the little bit of chipped wood at the bottom that I just seen in a picture, then I have doors, we'll get that replaced. I did apply for my rental license. The only reason it's not approved is because there's open code violations, which I've been trying to handle immediately. And
Excuse me.
what,
Did you know when you rented the place that you were supposed to have a rental license?
yes, sir. Yes, sir, I know. And that is my fault that I didn't do it the day we closed. This was like 30 days after I bought it. We instantly got there and started painting outside and stuff. Just the property was in a very bad condition, and we just wanted it to not be an eyesore for the city any longer.
Were they already rented when you purchased?
No.
I don't, the issues, the clogged sink and the leaking sink and the door.
But it's working without a permit.
Well, that's a separate issue, but those three issues, they were like temporary. I'm not sure they arise to the level of a code violation, but.
And they
they've
were
been-
fixed.
They've been fixed. It was toilet paper, like in a sink, it was plunged, it was done. It was not like it's not a continuing issue. There's not like standing water, there's no mold that gathered because of it. So, the door itself, again, I don't know that that's necessarily an interior bathroom door, but nonetheless, it's been fixed. She testified it's been fixed. The work without a permit, as far as we understand, it is regarding an interior wall that has no plumbing and no electrical in it.
It's called a curtain wall, and
And-
according to my contractor, I didn't need a permit to do it.
Madam Chair,
Oh, well.
and if I may interrupt, if I may. We, right now, we're just on a determination of compliance and non-compliance.
Right.
And there are issues, I think, that they've been working on, and as we normally would, we're just asking that they be found in non-compliance, and just off the admission of, if not, for nothing else, the admission of having initiated this rental without having a rental license. And their ability to get a rental license, I know there are issues that they're gonna have to get worked out. And we're asking that they be in compliance by next cutoff, or, you know, we can see what kind of progress they make in terms of resolving the issues that would allow them to get a license. Is that correct, Mr.?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And on behalf of the homeowner, we're trying to figure out what precisely needs to be addressed.
Right.
Does the sink itself need to be?
Yeah, and that's something that we worked out with the permit and the code compliance division, not with the board. The board wouldn't be able to give you instructions on on what to do to comply. You do that through the city service.
Sure. Okay.
So we
I was
were-
of the belief that the board could say, not a violation. Either brought into
Okay,
compliance.
they can do that if they want to.
I mean, they could say,
Yeah, I mean, you could pursue that,
We need
but
to know
I
what to
think
inspect it anyway.
based on the missions that we are in generally, we're in non-compliance. And so what we're asking is that we just come back with either, and address all those issues, and if there's certain things you think they should be determined in compliance contrary to the finding of the inspector, you'd be able to address those with the board.
and we figured we were coming back in 3 days anyway, so.
Okay.
So we're just asking
So
for
we're
the,
asking for
the compliance by
motion
next
of
cutoff.
Non-compliance and,
I'll make a motion in the case of, case number 24, CEB 06-2490, Twin Homes LLC 1401 3rd Street, that we find them in non-compliance and, would extend to our next, cutoff date for to be in compliance or to have a progress, report.
for 100 per day.
Got a question?
Okay, just a moment. Was there a second?
Second.
Okay.
Mr.
Mr.
Harrington.
Harrington, second.
I just wanted to clarify, could we clarify what in compliance is specifically so that I can
Well,
make
in
sure?
compliance, you have a list of issues that the inspector found that you're in violation of.
Well, I think I can aid in that. If
I mean, this list right here is
Well,
what I'm saying.
whatever Mr. Butler
I've
does.
never received a piece of paper from
We'll
him
get
with
it.
violations
We'll,
on it,
we'll,
so.
we'll get it.
Go ahead.
Thank you. So the inspector, by getting with the inspector, he will identify further, you know, what you need to do, what needs to be in compliance. In other words, compliance is fix it. And, then you come back, and then we review everything, and if you're still out of compliance, then you could possibly file, you know, face a fine or something like that. Or
Not to
we
interrupt,
can
but just because-
also,
Okay.
or we can also give you an extension as well.
Mr. Guns,
If I may, just for the aid of Mr. Kelton, with the board doesn't determine or define compliance and noncompliance, but they resolve disputes as to the determination of compliance and noncompliance. So if the inspectors find something and says it's not in compliance, and you want to dispute that at the next proceeding, you can do that. But the initial determination is going to be a determination made by the compliance staff, having one giving you the violation and then determining whether you satisfied the requirements.
I just more or less wanted them listed maybe on the record here today in the court, in the notes for the meeting.
We'll get it from the notice.
That way, because right now he's saying that those things still weren't fixed, and I'm saying him and his manager were just out
Okay, but
in April and they
today,
were.
Ms. Court, today is just to determine compliance and non-compliance. That's all we're here for today.
I understand.
That's what we're voting on, and then you have a chance. It was a motion.
I made a
And
motion.
second, Mr. Harrington, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now, Ms. Cox, would you get with Mr. Butler? And then you can tell me, he will let you know all of that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you,
they can
guys.
present affidavits, so y'all have, they'll follow through, and whatever problems you have. And Mr. Kelson, if you have any problems and you want to contact the city attorney's office as counsel, that's fine, you can just ask for me.
I'm sure we'll get that worked out.
Yes.
Case number 25, CB 062493, Matthew Michael at 821 Olive Avenue. Mr. Stinson. Okay, Mr. Michaels? Yeah.
Do I need to say yes? I do.
Jackson?
I swear.
He needs to be sworn in.
I'm sorry, if I could just clarify.
Would you
Sorry, ma'am.
raise your hand, Mr. Michaels?
And your name again is?
Matthew Michaels?
Okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Stinson.
Good morning again, John Stinson, Code Inspector with the city. My qualifications are on file. This was a field-generated case for lack of permits for deck being constructed in back. Property owner was noticed on 23 February of 2024. Compliance was due on 8 March 2024. My last visit to the site was yesterday, June 12th. Permits have been submitted. They're awaiting resubmittal. That was dated on March 12th. Permits awaiting resubmittal. It was returned for corrections on March 14th. City is asking for an order of noncompliance and compliance by the next cutoff.
Yes, hi. Since then, I've become extremely educated in what needs to be permitted and not. I live on the property. I've been doing this as an owner-builder. Following the steps, I had Inspector Jurgen Betts come out and very nicely explain to me what I need to do to refinish this old existing deck in the back, south back side of my house. You can't even see it from the road. One of his suggestions, and the reason why it's kind of been a little slower, is he said, hey, I have to get a survey, there's no survey on the property. I've looked through older permits. So I have to get a survey and drawing, stamped and sealed survey. Jurgen suggested, hey, go talk to zoning first and make sure you get an approval from them to be able to build within the existing, to replace the deck.
Mr. Michaels, let me hold.
I just got permission.
But today you're here, you either find in compliance or non-compliance.
Okay.
And you will return next time, and that can be done. But today is strictly just compliance or non-compliance.
Okay, but
And with that being said.
yes, ma'am.
The unpermitted work in replacing wood is non-compliant. So we are today gonna find you in non-compliance and return in the next cutoff, which is 7/3.
Is there any, okay,
Have it done by then, I have some proof, and get with Mr. Stinson.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I just got permission from zoning that I can build into the existing structure. So I've ordered my survey. I've been in touch with 5 survey companies. They're like 2 weeks out to even come do the survey, and it might be another week. So is there any way that I can request a cutoff date after that? Because I feel by the next cutoff date, I'll probably just have to come back in here and say, hey, can I have a little bit more time? But I think I should,
Well, let's hear from the inspector.
Sure.
And Mr. Stinson,
The city has no problem with giving them to the August cutoff.
okay.
that'd be perfect.
Okay. Where the board is asking, the chair is asking for August 31 cutoff.
July 30.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. And a finding of noncompliance.
Is it July? Yeah, July 31.
July 31st?
That's the
Mr.
cutoff date
Stinson,
for August.
you asked for the
Okay.
August cutoff, didn't you?
So let's focus on
I appreciate it.
31.
That should be fine.
Okay. Yeah, that's 7:31.
Yes.
Okay.
7:31 is fine.
That'll be wonderful. Thank you.
Motion,
I make a motion that we find CEB 062493 at 820 Wild Olive Avenue in noncompliance to come into compliance by 7/31/2024.
there, second.
Second.
Be subject to a fine of up to $1,000 per day.
Yeah, that's the, what is it? She don't have to repeat it.
Okay.
But up to $1,000 per day.
After July.
Up to $1,000, or be fined up to $1,000, up to $1,000 per day.
Okay,
You can come in.
all in favor? Aye.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Michaels, you get with Mr. Stinson, and next time, he can let us know, or you can come in.
Should be no problem by then. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll see if they'll bring them up now, if you want to. What do you want?
Yes.
Okay, all right, let's ask them.
Thank you. Yep, you're all set.
Okay.
Yes. We have a, I'm sorry. We
Yeah,
have a-
Madam Chair, I'll go ahead and ask. Yeah, Madam Chair, Mr. Nicholson has arrived, and I know we've already heard his case, but it's Mr. Stinson's last case, so he wanted to know if y'all wanted to bring that up and have Mr. Nicholson heard now that he's here.
So this is what now, Mr. Stinson's last case?
Yes.
I mean, on the agenda, that's on the.
Mr. Nicholson, he had case number 4. He just arrived.
Oh,
After the case was actually heard, and he would like to know.
So if nothing else, whether or not y'all want to reconsider anything, that'll be up to the board, but in terms of him having an opportunity to be heard, he's present, we would recommend that he be brought up.
Fine.
okay.
Let's go back to 4.
But he's asking, Mr. John Nichols is here now, he wasn't here earlier. And he's asking, do we want to hear him?
I'll make a motion to read.
Yeah, I'm not asking whether, I mean, I'm saying you should
Yeah,
hear him,
hear.
but whether or not you'll want to reconsider, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as hearing him out or just inform him of the outcome, whatever way y'all choose to handle that, and the recommendation of your council would be fine.
Let's go back to the case number 4.
Yeah, number 4.
And we have to, you've already heard the case.
Yeah.
So we have to see if the board wants to go ahead and rehear it. Somebody from the board side.
Okay. So I need a
Need a motion to rehear it.
hear the case.
I make a motion to reopen CEB 0524 at 413 and 413 and a half Grandview Avenue.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, back on the table.
Okay, Mr. Nichols, would you be sworn in, please?
Just a moment. And the second was, the motion was made by Ms. Roby, then second by Mr. Gonzalez.
Ms. Gonzalez.
Will you state your name, please, sir?
John Nixon.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, again, we're here from Mr. Stinson.
Alrighty, so. This respondent was first notified on January 9th, 2024. He was cited for unmaintained landscaping outside storage of trash and debris. My last visit to the property was yesterday, 6/11/24. The property was still in non-compliance. Some of the outside storage had been removed, but there was still a significant amount there. Mr. Nicholson will advise you of what it looks like now.
Okay,
Okay.
Mr. Nichols.
One, I want to apologize for my appearance. I'm not used to computerized, and your boards now are computerized instead of paper. On that, it says that the meeting was canceled, so I thought it was canceled. That's why I wasn't here on time. But I double-checked it, and then you were here, so I walked in. So I apologize for my attire. Secondly, he asked me, he came Monday morning. Much of what he saw is all gone now. Because he asked me, the front porch is all cleared up, the entire side. There are basically 11 areas on the property in which there were accumulation. One side of the front porch, the other side of the front porch, the side porch, etc. All of those have been cleared up, but in honesty, there are 3 locations left. My paint storage, there are 2 bicycles, and the tarp is ripped. I'm saving the 2 bicycles for a woman, but otherwise that's basically done. My old area where I did the potting needs to be cleared up, and the side yard has to be cleared up on the north end. It's overgrown. So those things will be cleared up by the weekend.
And he go back, is that, yes.
That's all gone.
Cleared up.
Everything's gone. Everything on the front porch that you saw was gone. All of that on the right is all gone. All that is gone, except for the pots. The plants are still there. See the right-hand side?
Okay, this
So
was
that's-
taken yesterday, though.
Yeah, that's basically what it looks like. Would you see those pictures?
Yeah.
Okay, all that is the way it is now.
Well, we'll clarify.
Everything's
ma'am.
been clarified
It
up.
was taken on the 3rd, but,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That would take the,
but then,
was on the
yes.
3rd.
Yeah.
And this is what Mr. Stinson took yesterday?
That photograph right there is also from the 3rd, but it's basically the same, yes.
Are there any photographs from yesterday?
There should be.
That's 4.
There's 4.
So, but you were out there, Mr. Stinson?
Yes, sir.
yesterday, and it looked the same to you? Similar?
There had been some progress. There was still quite a bit to get done though as well.
Okay,
But all of that is gone. On the side?
sorry, I
Yep.
was talking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So you can represent as of, at this moment, is what you saw yesterday, and as of yesterday, these things were pretty much still there, for the most part.
There has been some progress. There is still an excessive amount of outside storage on the property.
Okay, so you're not able to verify the things that Mr. Nicholson is saying right now as far as the removals?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I'm
because
so far from the
pictures are
mic.
confusing, because if that was yesterday and it was clear,
No,
Day of the meeting.
I haven't seen any of these pictures that actually
Oh.
said yesterday. This one also here is from the 3rd.
Other part's not part of the picture. There it is.
okay, so the date is wrong.
Right. But
No.
this is just
The
the,
date of the meeting today.
Oh,
The bottom is the date of the meeting, today's meeting.
Okay.
The upper corner is the date of the photos,
okay.
Madam Chair.
So, on your visit yesterday, did it look like he was like in compliance?
it was not in compliance yesterday, no.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a new case. Okay. We do
Okay,
this.
so do we retain the same?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Could we find, what do we do on that case? Brandon, could you tell us what we did on that case?
The reading was $100 a day, up to $10,000, or until the property comes into compliance.
So you do a new order.
She motioned to keep it the
We,
same.
yeah, she motioned.
And I
to keep it
second.
with
Do
the
this, yes, okay.
Right, and I
And
second
was
it.
it second?
You don't change
I
it.
did.
I don't know what the.
Okay.
A motion to make no
Just
change, leave
a
it things as is.
motion.
I'm sorry?
We just motioned to keep it as previously done, the $100 per day. It was motion and second.
Okay, yo,
Rescind it?
no, I'm not asking you to do that. Have you, taken a vote yet?
No.
No.
Or can we be heard? Can we be heard?
Yes, sure.
Okay. I think what typically happen in this time period, this is, low lengthy time period for Mr. Nicholson. This has been since January. However, I think and I'm speaking for the inspector, but I believe he said this before. There have been progress. Whether or not it was progress to the point that Mr. Nicholson has described, he can't speak to that because he didn't see that, whatever happened after he was there yesterday. So what the thought is maybe a fine certain, if it's not in compliance by the next cutoff, which would allow the inspector to go out and verify what the things that Mr. Nicholson is saying. And if he has a couple of little more things to do, he can get that done and be finished with this. And so that's kind of giving a little bit of benefit of the doubt, but at the same time recognizing that he had been moving forward and making that progress, even though late in the game.
Right.
So that's kind of the thought that we have on that. Is that right, Mr. Stinson?
Correct, that's
Okay,
correct.
the only thing I'm saying, and we'll do that, is the pictures is just confusing. Because what it's showing on June 3rd is showing clear there. See, look at the one I'm talking about. And then there's another one come up, same date, and it's still there.
Just continue the
Right
case.
there. No. It's another one he need to go.
Yes,
Right.
for
See, you right there. No, go
January.
back.
That's January 4th.
Okay, January 4th. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. So it's
Okay.
yeah, it is confusing
So
though
you
because
Right.
of the way it's given.
Rescind the previous,
Okay,
Yeah.
I withdraw my motion.
okay.
Yeah, so, and I seconded the motion, but I also have my observation in order to withdraw that.
Okay,
Uh,
so now we're motion to accept the city's
Well,
recommendation.
we voted on it twice.
Yeah, I know.
Yes,
He
we did.
did, while we were talking, they voted. But now you're voting.
Well, we voted when
She
the
withdrew her
case
motion.
came up. Right, when the case
She withdrew
came
her
up,
motion.
we voted
I know,
on the $100.
right.
Right.
And now we just,
Then she voted to keep it the same.
keep it
but
the
now
same?
she is rescinding
uh,
that vote. So
Right.
we have to vote again.
well, that's fine, but my question is, are we going like back and forth, or are we being consistent, or what are we doing?
The city's position is merely a recommendation. Obviously, y'all are able to do, as you choose, but the city's recommendation is, and it's not, it's something we've done before. It's not all that odd. He's moving forward.
Presented their motion and
Right.
and second, so I'll make the motion to take the city's recommendation of amending to the next cutoff for Mr. Nicholson in case CEB 0548.
That's not the city's recommendation.
Okay, I'd like to, I have no problem with extending it, except, John, this isn't your first rodeo.
Right.
Right.
You are supposed to notify your person that you've done that work. So if you're gonna bring it up, that it's not
I-
up to date, you should have called him on the phone.
He knows.
No,
He knows.
Right. But he didn't, okay, I mentioned it to him when he came out Monday. I was not expecting him to show up last week, all right? So everything had not been complete, but it is now 99% finished, except for those 3 areas, all right? So 90% of what you saw is gone, except for these 3 areas which were not pictured at all, but they are there. And I don't want you to assume that I've done everything when I haven't.
As Mr. Harrington brought up, and I recall, that you have been here before.
Correct.
So what's going on?
And we had a problem with the gentleman.
Okay, all I'd say is,
Set aside the
Yes.
regional,
when this comes
set
up
aside the
next
regional
time,
order.
and you've
Leave
done
it
the
alone.
work, you call him.
All right.
okay.
I
So
didn't-
now
I didn't-
we're
Wow,
going,
just so,
according to Mr. Stinson, we're gonna extend it to next cutoff.
that's not what we were asking, Madam Chair. If I could just clarify so the board and Madam Chair, in fact, I'll come up and clarify. Yeah. No, the recommendation of the city is to basically have an auto fine, is the term we use, but the a fine certain if he's not in compliance by next month. So we're actually asking for a fine to be imposed if he's not in compliance by the next cutoff. There's a order language on your order list, but I don't remember what it says.
Okay, so.
I mean, but that's the request. Obviously, y'all could do, if you want to just go ahead and extend it, you can, or if you want to leave the fine, you can. But the recommendation of the city is that there be a fine certain on the next cutoff if he is not in compliance, so that we would not have a reason to come back. He has all the motivation in the world to get it finished, and if it is finished, then we'll be putting an affidavit of compliance in the file.
Now, I can go
So
with
what
that.
he's saying is, okay, so the chair will entertain a motion to find the respondent in non-compliance, and at the next meeting, allow respondent until July 3rd to come in compliance, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fact.
No, that's
No, it's
not
already,
in the
no.
language order.
No.
It's already,
We just got
continue
a
the case
time
to next
certain,
month.
give it a time. certain.
Continue it to next
We
month.
just do it next month.
That's
Maybe
your choice. You can do that. That's easier.
Complicating something. Let's,
Yeah.
that'll fade to be next month.
Doing it.
He's invited.
Yeah, we're fine.
We're talking about a week
Okay,
difference.
can we get a motion to continue it to next month to stay urgent? But Mr. Nicholson, it must be in compliance by then.
I make a motion, to continue until 7/3/24 and impose a fine effective that day if he is found, in non-compliance. For
It's not
case
compliance today.
CEB
She's trying to do what I said, but that's not what you said.
052482,
I'll second that.
413 and 413.5 North Grandview Avenue.
Yeah, I'll second it, I can go.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Let's have a roll call vote on that.
Y'all get it done.
Spencer?
Did you hear the vote,
Worry about it.
Brenda?
Brenda?
You get him?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Where are we, 26?
Okay. Case number 26, CEB 062491, Mentho H. Beatty at 620 Hudson Street.
I apologize. I thought that one was going to be quick. Nothing's quick.
Good morning, Ms. Beatty.
Good morning.
Are you gonna testify also?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Will you both raise your hands and be sworn in?
May I have your names first?
Andrea Beatty.
Andrea Beatty. And you are, ma'am?
Mentho Genaria Mayhorn.
Mentho. Your middle name was, or was it a hyphen?
That's my first name hyphenated.
That's her first name. Oh, can you repeat that for me again?
Genaria, Janaira. Last name Mayhorn, Mahorn.
Thank you. Now will you raise your right hands? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I affirm. I do.
Thank you.
And Miss Beatty, you're not Mentho?
No.
Okay, so,
That's my mother. And
Okay.
yeah, that's my mother. She's deceased.
okay, very good.
Okay, we're here from Ms. Kirk.
Okay. This is a complaint-driven case that I received back in September of 2021 for damaged, hold on, let me find it. 1 second, sorry. damaged trim, soffit, dirt and grime, missing patio door, missing insect screens. First notification was September 13th of 2021. Compliance was due October 15th of 2021. I visited the site on yesterday, which is June 12th, sorry, June 12th, 2024. It's in non-compliance. Staff's recommending a finding of non-compliance with compliance due by the next cutoff.
Okay. Ms. Bader, would you like to say anything?
Okay,
You don't have to, it's just.
Oh, no, it's just-
Compliance and non-compliance.
oh, I don't know. Non-compliance.
So can I hear a motion?
Sure.
Find the defendant.
Sure, in case number 26, CEB 062491, address 620 Hudson Street. I would motion that we find this case in non-compliance and
By next cutoff.
expect them to be coming to compliance by the next cutoff date.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Ms. Bader, it's been moved and second that you must come into compliance by next cutoff. Please get it and stay in touch with Ms. Curtis.
Okay.
I'm
I can
sorry.
get the date.
Can you repeat the who motion again, please?
Okay, I know he's second.
I
No.
second.
He made the motion.
I made
He
the
made the
motion.
motion and Ms. Marsh second. Mr. Gonzalez made it and Marsh second. Okay,
Thank you.
okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Stay in touch with her now.
Okay, I have her card, I will. I have her card, I didn't have.
Case number 27, CEB 062492, Keep Investment Incorporated. We're on Zoom, it's at 642 El Dorado Street.
Okay. This is,
Just a minute.
oh, okay.
Okay, is this, who's on Zoom?
I'm here.
Your name, sir?
Sebastian Bergonzoli.
Will you raise your right hand, sir? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony about the provided the truth, the whole? Sorry. Do you solemnly swear to affirm that the testimony about the provided is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll hear from Ms. Kirk first. Thank you.
Okay. This is a complaint-generated case for an interior demolition without a permit, unsecured, unsanitary, vacant structure, missing windows and doors, ripped screens, peeling paint, dirt, grime, rotted wood. First notification was 12/26/23. Compliance was due February 2nd of 24. I visited the property yesterday, 6/12/24. It's still in non-compliance. Staff's recommending a finding of non-compliance with compliance due by the next cutoff.
And Madam Chair, if I could interrupt before we speak to our gentleman. One, I didn't get the name, if I can get.
Yeah, absolutely. Sebastian Bergonzoli.
Spell that for me, please.
Bergonzoli.
Okay. And sir, what's your relationship to Keep Investment Inc.?
One of the owners.
You are the owner, okay. That's all I need, thank you.
You're welcome.
The
Okay.
chair will entertain a motion to find the respondent and.
Well, I don't, he has the right to be heard, Madam Chair, I'm sorry, I interrupted.
See if it's there.
We have done everything to be in compliance. I have been in contact with Ms. Kirby. We have submitted multiple permit applications. We have spent thousands of dollars trying to do what the permitting department has asked us to do, but we just keep getting pushback. I spoke with Ms. Kirby, I believe, on Monday. and we are either on the route of demolishing the property and leaving it an empty lot, or figuring it out, as the city or the permitting department has give us a lot of pushback. They have even told us that we cannot paint the house white because we would make it too nice for the street. So it's just been an amount of setbacks and pushback from the city. When we bought the property was already demolished. It was run by homeless people. We kicked them all out. We boarded up the windows, took out the trash, and it's been one after another setback by the permitting department.
Well, is it the setback by the building department or your failure to meet what they ask you to do?
Well, it's not a failure to meet, because they asked us to get an elevation certificate. We get the elevation certificate. They asked us to get architectural and structural plans. We get that. Then they said, well, you need the scope of work. We send them a scope of work. They said, well, you need a more detailed scope of work. Now they're telling us that if we put $21,000 into this property, we're putting up to over 50% of the value of the property. I don't know where they're coming up with a $23,000 market value for this property, when just an empty lot is about 60. So they're saying that if I put 21,000 in a property that they value at 23, I need to elevate the house 1.5 feet because it doesn't meet the new FEMA requirements. So after I already have gotten them 2 surveys and 2 elevation certificates, I spent architectural and structural plans for it, and every time I get them something, it's a pushback.
Madam Chair, I think what the city's position is that, of course, the owner has some decisions to make, but we only hear on compliance or non-compliance, and we believe it was in non-compliance at the time of the violation, and we believe it continues to be in non-compliance as we speak.
Okay. The chair will entertain a motion to find the respondent in non-compliance and order the next cutoff. Or is that?
Yes.
That was the city's record. There's such a motion.
So moved.
Okay. Ms. Bernadette Roby, motion. Marsh, second.
Marsh. Motion.
Oh, Marsh, motion, okay. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mr., it has been motioned that, come into compliance by next month, which was July 31st, sorry.
No, that's the August cutoff.
July 3rd.
If I could ask for a 60-day continuance, because I got to decide if I'm demoing the house or if I'm lifting the house. I got to go through all the permitting requirements and zoning department for that.
So you haven't applied or you have applied?
I have applied multiple permits.
Okay, Ms.
Yeah, he's had a permit open. Everything he said is I can verify on here. The last review is actually 5/21/24. He's submitted everything that they've asked for, the corrections. However, this last one on 5/21, it's an elevation. Now they're wanting something about an elevation to elevate the structure. So he's kind of, he's trying, and then he, gets set back. So he has been working on the property. So I think the city would be okay with the 60 days to give him time to decide.
So can I get a motion to extend to?
I make a motion to amend my motion and extend it until the 7/31/24 cutoff.
Okay.
And I agree.
Okay. Been moved in second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, sir, you have until July 31st to come in.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Case number 28, OCB 062496, Ellen and Bernard Wall. at 233 South Franklin Street.
Okay.
Ms. Hurd.
Thank you. This is a complaint-generated case for outside storage, inoperable vehicle. It's a tarp damaged roof and debris. First notification was 3/25 of '24. Compliance was due 4/30/24. I visited the property yesterday, 6/12/24. It's still in non-compliance. Staff's recommending a finding of non-compliance with compliance due by the next cutoff.
Do I hear a motion for non-compliance and compliance by the next cutoff?
Go ahead.
I make the motion for case 06-5496 at 233 South Franklin to be in non-compliance with compliance due by 7.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
So we
And
go back
we
to the
have
Zoom.
two,
We've got the lien review, and then we've got two other cases open.
yeah.
So if we could ask IT, do we have anyone on our Zoom? I thought I saw someone.
Yeah, but it's in case 13. Yeah, case 13. Okay.
Should we do 10 first because it's the same individual?
Yeah. Let's do 10 first.
Wait, now, case 10. There are two cases here, right?
Yeah, and they're both the same representative for both.
Different names, so we have to do them separate.
Okay. So, sir, your name, please?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yes, my name is Edward O'Donnell.
Now, your case is under Oregon LLC. Is that the one you're pleading?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Madam Chair, you may want to read that in as the way you normally would, as far as the case number and all of that information.
Okay.
Call a case, in other words.
Case number 10CB042455, Oregon LLC, at 935 South Martin Luther King Boulevard. So we need
someone
Mr.
present.
O'Donnell to be sworn in.
Mr. O'Donnell, will you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay. So now we're here from.
I'm sorry if I could ask Mr. O'Donnell, what's his relationship to Oregon LLC?
I'm a real estate agent, and I help them with various things.
And they've authorized you to handle this on their behalf?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Ms. Curd.
Okay, since the last hearing, there's no known progress. I have had contact with Mr. O'Donnell as of late. So this case was first notified back on January 17th of 2024. There's still no rental license and on the books or application and or permit for the enclosed door. The boat has been removed, but other than that, there's no progress known.
Is it rented?
It is rented, it's occupied with no rental license. Staff is recommending a fine of $100 a day to a max of $15,000.
I know we have tenants in the house, and they were allowing us to get some progress at the beginning, and now they do not allow us to do any type of repairs. And we have begun the process of eviction, and then we would be able to, pull a permit if needed and get all the work that's being requested done. But at this point, we're not able to do anything. Our hands are tied. We anticipate the time to take 6 to 8 weeks to evict. So we would ideally have 90 days in order to be able to resolve this situation.
Okay, so, Mr. O'Donnell, did you file for the rental license?
I did not. I know that they've been talking with the attorney, and they're saying that, you know, according to statute, Florida Statute 83.425, it preempts the city from enforcing the local rental license ordinance, and it preempts all matters regarding residential tenancies to the state. That was passed in 2023 legislative session and became law July 1st, 2023. Our lawyer's still working on this and will proceed with getting the license until that's resolved.
Okay, I'm not sure who your lawyer is. We've considered, Madam Chair, if I could speak, I'm sorry, I just kind of had to jump on that, sir. But we've considered that issue. We've looked at the statute. We do not believe that that preemption affects the manner in which we enforce our rental ordinance. And so there's no prohibition for our enforcement of the rental ordinance. They would need to get a rental license from the legal perspective. And of course, anything else would be up to the board as to how you want to handle the issues. I will say, if indeed they're not being allowed, ideally we'd like to see the proof that they have initiated an eviction action. But we've always allowed someone, if they're taking action, moving forward in good faith in another arena to accomplish what's necessary to come into compliance, we've generally allowed that. We do recognize this started back in January, but even so, if now we're to a point where they are not getting the access and they're moving forward with eviction, then we just need them to proceed with eviction in good faith.
I'd like to ask you, the tenant that's in there, or is there a tenant in there?
There is a tenant in there, yes.
Was that lease, and I assume there's a lease, is that written by the owners at the time, or is these are previous owners?
I'm not 100% certain. I could find out, but I would believe that it is from the current owners. I don't have the lease in front of me. So most likely it is the company's own lease.
So you've advised them that we have a rental license program here, regardless of what your lawyer says?
Well, I will now. I'll let them know.
I can speak to that. What the complaint I received was tenants that were planning on renting the home and paid to rent it, and they were not satisfied with the living conditions inside, so they never moved in. That's how I gained entry when they had the keys to the property. They did not end up moving in, and then another group of tenants moved in after them. So that's with no rental license, correct?
Maybe a lease.
Yeah, I believe they do have leases because the initial tenant that allowed me entry did have a lease, and the lease was saying, I have to have water on before entry and stuff like that. So yes, there was a lease.
And the city, $100 a day?
100 a day to 15,000.
Well, actually, the city's recommendation is, if indeed they are pursuing eviction, that we would hold off on as they proceed in the pursuit of eviction of the tenant. I know that there's some point that we're not satisfied that they've been moving forward. Maybe timely, I don't know when they actually started. I know when we had our first contact, I don't know when they first came before the board and received an order from us. I can take a look at that, but in any sense, we typically would allow for them.
Is an eviction going on or not?
Yeah, we typically would allow for them to continue and move forward with the eviction.
Yeah, but as of now, they have not filed for it.
They haven't filed for eviction.
Oh, he said they had not? I thought he said they hadn't.
He said it'd take 4 to 6 weeks.
That it was.
To file for it?
He said going forward.
Well, let me hear what he said. I'm sorry, I may have missed it. Sir, what is the circumstance regarding eviction as you're representing to this board?
It has been sent to the lawyer for eviction, and it typically takes 6 to 8 weeks. So it has been given to the lawyer to initiate the process.
So it has not initiated? Okay. Well, then I'm okay with the moving forward on the fine.
Yeah. Okay.
If that's what we told them.
And Can I get a motion from the board?
Yeah, I make a motion on case number 10, CEB 042456 regarding Oregon LLC located at 935 South Martin Luther King Boulevard, that we impose a fine of $100 a day until they come into compliance.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Okay.
To a max of 15, or
Ma-
reaches the max of
$15,000.
$15,000.
To a max of 15,000.
Mr. O'Donnell, you all have been fined $100 a day until it meets the max of $15,000.
Or come into compliance, one or the other.
In compliance.
Yeah, if I may ask, how do we do work on the property if tenants are not allowing us access to the property?
Get them out of there.
You've indicated you all intend to evict. If that's what you intend to do, then y'all can do that. We have ways you can address these after the fact. So if there's an after the fact address, do lien review or whatever methods that y'all choose, or the owner chooses, that's fine. We have a mechanism for that.
Okay.
Okay. Continue to stay in touch with Ms. Kurt on that. Okay.
I will do.
We still have it for number 13.
Case number 13, CEB 042468, BMS Holdings LLC at 543 Division Street. Have to be sworn in for this one, or?
He's sworn in for both.
Yeah, he's already sworn.
Already sworn.
Okay. Ms.
Oh,
Kurt.
okay, thank you. Okay, so this is a field-generated case that I opened November 1st of 2023 for unsanitary conditions, unsecured vacant structure, trash and debris, and inadequate address numbers, meaning they're not visible from the street. They're not 4 inches as standard. First notice was November 15th of 2023. Compliance was due 12/15/23. I visited the property yesterday, which is 6/12/24. The property, there was some progress, but it's unfortunately not in compliance. One of the windows was pulled out of the window frame for entry. There was trash and debris on the property as well, and the address numbers are still not adequate. So staff is requesting a fine of $100 a day to a max of $15,000.
Mr. O'Donnell?
Yes, we've been working very hard on this property, and that window was not out of place, a couple of days ago, and there's vandalism issue happening there. We have, worked with the police department to put no trespassing signs on there to help to reduce that. But we would really like, on this particular case, if you would be able to allow us 10 days to bring it into compliance, and then I could work with Officer Kirk to be able to set up a time to meet with her at the property once we do get it 100% compliance, and then we'd be able to resolve, this case. So, that's what we would like.
Okay. I mean, I'm okay with that. Obviously, it's up to you, but it definitely needs to be maintained. It may have been okay 3 days ago, the trash picked up and the window secured, but then, the next day or 2 days later, it's not. So there needs to be, I need to have.
What would you say the percentage of the work is?
Well, after I cited the case, the windows were broken, so that wasn't included on my violations. However, they did fix the broken glass. They've removed the boards. Some of the garbage was picked up, but now there's new garbage. It was, they may have secured it 3 days ago, but now it's back unsecured. So, and then the address numbers, of course.
Looks like there's all new windows in there.
Some of the windows were broken, the glass, so they did replace just the glass on some of them.
And we did put some numbers up, but apparently we put the wrong size numbers up. So we'll get that corrected immediately.
Okay.
Well, I don't see much difference between 10 days and next cutoff.
I think the city agrees. We're fine with next cutoff on the
amending.
belief that it'll be taken care of, otherwise we'll, be back.
We can agree to amend to the next cutoff for component.
It seems like they just have a tough property and they're gonna have to, do what it takes to,
That's what I was
keep
gonna
it in,
say.
yeah.
10 days, something else break, in 30 days still. So, Mr. O'Donnell first.
Yes.
Let's wait, vote on it.
There was no motion yet.
A motion.
I'll make the motion that we, allow,
Fine him and
yeah. What number was it, 13? Sorry. Case number CEB 042468, to be amended to the next cutoff of 7/3 or
come into
compliance before the fine up to $1,000 per day or compliance is achieved.
$15.
Second.
Okay, thank you.
You didn't get that?
No.
Okay.
The 1,000 bothered me a little bit. So, this was for fun, right?
Yeah, it was for a fine.
No, you amended to the next cutoff. Okay.
Yes.
All right, I'm good. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Was there a second by Ms. Martin?
Ms. Marsh. In the vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Too many words.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, we tell them the deny.
Now, which case is this?
We had the lien review still left.
Yeah.
We still
We
have,
got number one lien review left.
Number one.
And if you can call it again, we'll address the city's position.
That was Zoom, wasn't it?
You on Zoom or not?
No one's on Zoom, correct, Mr. IT?
Oh, okay, that's,
So no one's present concerning case number lien review for the property at 1815 North Oleander Avenue. No one in the audience. Okay.
no.
The recommendation?
Yeah, the city's
You're not here.
recommendation is that you find them, that you
Deny
deny
the request.
And of course, that would be without prejudice at this time. That's the only first request, so.
Motion then.
Okay, the chair is accepting a motion to deny the request.
I make a motion in the case of CEB 012403 Paragon regarding Paragon Capital Properties LLC located at 1815 North Oleander Avenue, to deny the request to modify,
Without prejudice.
Without prejudice.
without, okay. To deny the request of, the hardship consideration without prejudice.
Okay,
Okay?
That good?
that's the motion.
Second, Ms. Martin.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Are there,
Finish discussion.
Okay, yeah, well,
Finish discussion.
it should happen.
are there any discussions?
Yeah, but Madam Chair, on the agenda, we also had miscellaneous business for rental discussion. I think y'all wanted to talk about this process where we are. You may want to wait and do that with the chair here as well, since I think she was interested in that.
Yeah.
And so we can move it to the next
Okay.
agenda if you prefer, the next meeting date.
Meeting to, discuss, to that discussion, please.
Oh, that's why she was here the whole time.
Okay.
I'm sorry, June, where did you go?
Moved in second, moved by Mrs. Roberts, second by Ms. Marsh. All in favor?
Aye.
And I apologize to Ms. Barnes. She was waiting and ready to do this for all meeting long. But I do know that it was an issue for the chair as well, so sorry, June. I wish I had told you that.
Did I hear move to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
So moved.
Second.